Alright, are you thinking about doing a challenge on Topstep, but maybe you don't know how to approach it with the different rules that you have to abide by? Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you guys my step-by-step rules on risk management that you guys should follow to make sure you pass this in the best possible way. Because I know a lot of you guys who are moving from FX to futures that are looking into Topstep notice the rules are very different to your other prop firms such as FTMO. Well, I'm going to break it down and show you guys how I managed to approach it and how you guys can take it the best way possible so you can pass and become a funded futures trader. So if we take a look at Topstep now, I'm going to give you guys the example of trading on a 100k account, and that's what we're going to base off the rules. So obviously, to do the 100k account, it is $99. The max profit target is 6,000, and you can trade a max position size of 10 contracts with a max loss limit of $3,000 on the account. Now, although you guys can trade 10 contracts, I do not advise you guys to trade 10 contracts. This is way too much, and you're going to end up hitting the max loss limits very, very fast. In this video, I'm going to also give you guys the examples of risk management rules you should follow when trading gold. Now, if you trade NASDAQ, you trade the S&P, it's going to be very, very different, because trading one contract on NAS is going to be very different to trading one contract on ES, oil, or gold. I actually made another video explaining futures contract sizes and how to approach it with the different instruments. With the 100k account, we have a max loss limit of 3,000. So we want to maximize this to the best of our ability to make sure we are getting the most amount of trades out of this challenge, whilst, you know, still not trying to take the most amount of time in the world. Because the beauty of Topstep is there is no rush and there's no two-step process. This is just one step. Take as long as you want, and it's only going to cost you $99 a month to do the challenge. Given that we have $3,000 to work with, let's break that down. And also, one thing to note is on the 100k account, there is a daily loss limit of $2,000. Now, if you hit that $2,000, you do not lose the account. It's just rules that you guys should stick to, but I also think we should bring this down a little bit, because I believe 2,000 is probably a little bit too much. All right, so if we just put this onto a little whiteboard here. So this is all of the rules that we have to follow to become a funded trader. We just take this over. This is the rules that Topstep give you, and this is the rules that I am going to give you guys. Let's just get rid of the max loss, because we know that's obviously not going to change. Daily loss limit on Topstep 100k account, you can lose 2,000 a day. However, I don't think you guys should be coming anywhere near to that. I think you should only ever be risking $500 to $600 a day max, no more than that, because that's going to give you, if you risk $500 per trade, that's going to give you 6 trades. So if you lose 6 trades in a row, that's going to be the whole challenge over, and I think that's more than enough. Remember, like I say, it's only a one-step process, so you want to be making the most out of these rules as you can. I'm going to give you guys the max contract size, because obviously you can trade 10, but I don't think you guys should be trading anywhere near 10. You should be trading 2 to 5 contracts. That all depends on your stop loss amount when getting into a trade. Now, when I scalp live on stream here on YouTube for you guys, most of my trades, I manage my risk around 10 to 15, sometimes maybe 20 ticks stop loss, because we're intraday trading and we're scalping. So I don't want to have any bigger stops than that. If you guys want to go back and rewatch the streams of all the trades that we have taken, then you guys go onto the live section in my YouTube channel and you can rewatch me actually taking these trades with 10 to 15 tick stop loss management. In the example of gold, if we take a trade that has a 10 tick, or let's say pip for you guys trading FX, a 10 pip stop loss with one contract, that's going to be risking $100, okay? If you get into a trade and you need to be in a 30 tick stop loss, then your risk trading one contract is going to be $300. So once you base your stop loss amount of 10 ticks, it's very easy to work out what contract size you should be taking. So for me, on average, I would say I'm around 15, but just to round it up, let's just say I average around a 20 tick stop loss. And this is why knowing your data is very key. I only want to be risking $500 to $600 a day. How many trades do I actually want to get out of 500? Let's just get rid of 600. Let's just make it simpler. Let's just keep it at 500. How many trades do I want to get out of risking $500 per day? Well, for me, I don't ever want to take more than 2 losses a day. If I take more than 2 losses, I'm personally out. I'll come back again tomorrow. That means that each of my trade should be around $250 risk. However, the way that I personally like to approach it is I could take one trade and let's say 5 contracts, and if that's a losing trade, then I like to reduce my risk coming into the next trade. And if I can just end up green on the day, amazing. If I have to get into my first trade with a 20 pip stop loss, I want to be risking around $300. And then on the next trade, I only want to be risking $150. So if I only want to be risking $300 on the first trade, remember 10 ticks to work out what the contract size would be. $300 risk is going to be 3 contracts. If I want to trade with a 20 pip stop loss, then I want to be trading around 2 contracts. You can't trade 0.5s, but I could be trading, 1 to 2 contracts and seeing how I can manage my risk. For this trade, I'm going to be risking on my first trade $300. And then on the second trade, this is if both trades are a loser, say if the first trade is a loss, then the second trade is only going to be around $150 to $200 risk, and that's going to keep me within my daily max loss limit. So I'm saying you can trade a max of 2 to 5 contracts. You may even just trade around the lower end and trade around, 2 to 3, depending on how well you can manage your risk and how well you can manage your stop loss. We need to pass $6,000. For me, anytime I get into a trade, it has to be a minimum of a 1 to 2 risk to reward, meaning my risk is $300. I want to be looking to make at least $600 per trade. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It all depends on what the markets give me. Now, I personally don't use physical take profits because I don't like to limit myself on the potential upside or downside of a trade. I will get out of the markets when the markets tell me it's time to get out, as opposed to I've hit my 1 to 2, let me take my profit and run. No, I want to max out as much as I can from the markets. If gold moves impulsively and I set a physical TP and I get stopped out for a 1 to 2 and then it ends up running into a 1 to 5, I'm going to massively kick myself. Minimum, you want to be going for a 1 to 2 risk to reward. You risk 300, you make 600. And with that, that means you're going to have to win 10 trades to be able to make the $6,000, which, remember, you can do this over however long that it takes you. That's the beauty of this. There is absolutely no rush. So don't come into the 100K thinking, oh, amazing, I can trade 10 contracts and I can, pass this within 2 days. No, be consistent and trade this properly. Because once you become funded with Topstep, I promise you, and they're going to help you become a fantastic futures trader, which is what this prop firm's all about. One of the very rare prop firms that will actually, progress you onto a real live account and help you build that and give you a full risk account manager that can guide you through the entire process. So they are the risk management rules that you guys should definitely look to follow. This is just a rough guide. This is if I was trading gold. Sometimes if I have to get in a trade with a 30 tick stop loss for whatever reason, then I only want to be trading 1 contract. If I have to get in with any bigger of a stop loss, then I'm getting in too early and I need to wait. And that's the reason that we're here. Scalping and day trading with Topstep, you can't hold overnight, so you want to be in and out within the same day, which is great. Be aiming for a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now, if you take even more than 2 winning trades in the day, lock it in, be done. Sometimes even 1 a day. It all depends on the market volumes. This is just a guide. I see a lot of people who focus so much on risk to reward, just fixate on that. And I'm saying go for a minimum of a 1 to 2 risk to reward, but that doesn't mean if the market tells you it's time to get out, you may just lock in a 1 to 1. But the trade has to have a minimum requirement of at least reaching a 1 to 2 with good profit targets. That doesn't mean you draw on your risk to reward tool and start stretching it out for no reason. It has to make sense. So you're going to be risking $300 to make 600. If you lose that trade, you want to be managing your risk to half of what it was previously to stick within the overall max loss limit that we have created of $500. And even if you win on the first trade and you make $600 on that trade, maybe the next trade you still want to go in with the same contract size, the same risk, you want to risk another $300. Amazing, you can do that. Or if you're up nice on the day and you want to reduce your risk to even going back to the $150, $200 risk, a percent of what you made on a day, amazing, you can do that. But this is a good guide on what you guys should be following. The Topstep rules are more than sufficient for you guys to be able to pass this comfortably and actually be able to manage your risk. Okay, that's the rules you guys want to stick to. If you guys have any questions or you want me to clarify anything else, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm going to be more than happy to help you guys out, and hope to see you on the London session live stream, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. See you guys there. Peace.